Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. So, you guys had a chance to look at the minutes from July 12th. Okay, with me, I'll make a motion. Okay, second. Motion carries to approve the minutes from July 12th, 2022. Auditor? Pass these down through here and make some measures. Want some measures? Thank you, sir. See where I want to start. Okay, you ready for me? Yeah. I have a few to do. So first one is payroll claims. And that is in the amount of $325,607.65. 325,607.65. I'd say that's a little off a little bit there. I'll make a motion. Second. Okay, motion carries to accept that in the record. But my kids aren't home, I need more counter space. Next, I have the Allied monthly claims, just for the administrative side of it and so forth. And the amount for the monthly Allied monthly claim is $54,379.86. 54,379.86. You want to look that up? There it is. It's already signed for. So. Fix that. These are the admin fees then. You make a motion on that second. Okay, motion carries to accept the monthly claims for Allied. And next I have the monthly claims for Leon Shafford, the insurance consultant, and that's in the amount of $2,916.67. $2,916.67. Make a motion to approve that claim. Let's just see there. There we go. Okay. Second. Okay, motion carries to approve the claim from Elaine Shafford. Yeah, yeah. Now we have the Allied weekly health insurance claims. And the amount is $7,377.96. And that looks like it's all medical, $73.77.96. Yeah. You got any quotes on that software? Nope. All medical, and that was the amount. Yeah. We'll take it. We will take it. Would you say per rooms? So 325, 607, 65. Yeah, thanks. I'll make a motion to approve the Allied claims. Okay, motion carries to approve the Allied weekly claims. $7,377.
96.
So next we have the utilities that are paid into law. And the amount is $39,166.75, $39,166.75. I'll pass this down so you guys can look at that if you like.
Let's say to be consistent. Consistent so far. You don't ever do this sheet with year-to-date comps or anything from.
We probably could, but that's right around 7 months as it already is.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because it's kind of, I didn't know how much of a hassle that one.
So I will find that out. But I do know that's not the normal amount.
I mean, if it takes an extra hour digging around, it's not worth it.
I'll make a note of that.
I'll make a motion. I'll second Stan.
Okay, a motion carries to approve the claims.
Utilities claim.
All right, next we have the weights and measures report that Inspector Hackman presented. And I put that in front of you guys. And I gave a copy to the newspapers. Does the radio want a copy? Okay.
What, 8 rejected?
I'm going to reject.
1 red tagged.
That's his job. There's somebody that up gas at one of those banks.
What?
One of the bad ones.
Yeah. Depends if it's in your favor.
It depends on whose favorites.
Yeah. I think he's doing a lot better job than.
Yes. 107 total inspections. They were that much down.
He does quite a few. Motion, we accept this. Second. Okay. Motion carried to accept, that in the record.
And then I have the accounts payable claims, which I sent in front of you a little bit ago. Those will be paid on the 20th in the amount of $407,581.40. $407,581.40. I think if you look through there, a lot of that is either MDH, IT and highway are the big ones in this cycle. All of those things. Spending one season. You ready to fix a road, don't you? Or a bridge.
Wow, our goodness is high.
It's not cheap to advertise on this thing. So
Look at the caliber of reporters they got. That explains that. Jim, are they picking on you? Maybe. You probably get top dollar too.
Yeah. At any rate, 407,581.40.
I'll make a motion to approve the claim.
Second.
Okay, motion carries to approve claims. Or submitted 7/20.
There's that. That is all that I actually have, but, Mark would have to tell us if, Brad has discussed this with myself, Mike Burley. I've sent it all to them about some property down in Geneva at the county roads, but I don't even know if that needs to be evergreen with me, to be honest. I think that's just something that can be discussed anytime, so there's a process to figure out what to do with that, because that goes all the way back to 1999. So, would you think that's a discussion that could be?
I need to do some more title research on it, figure out what we can do.
Okay, so, but I you guys need the information, so that you'll have it whenever that time comes. I mean, it's been a long time anyway, so.
Yeah, there's not a lot of history in the records on it.
So we'll look into that. It's just something that, Brad, I think you brought that to our attention, and then Mike looked at some of the surveying and looked back in the, I was back in the past minutes and found that was a great point, so.
So what actually started it was, the gentleman from Red Gold had contacted me because they would like to do some more improvements on that road. A couple of years ago, they went in and where the semis constantly drive from the north side to the south side, they went in and poured cement because it was tearing everything up. Well, they would like to do more improvements down there. I'm just sitting there, why couldn't we just turn that portion of the road over to them? So that's what kind of started this. They would like to do more improvements. So that's what started this whole process.
That'll give Mark something to
Yeah.
look at when he researches that and gets it figured out.
Yeah, they own on both sides of it, so we can probably take care of it.
Would we still have access to go straight through if we turn that over?
Yeah. As long as they, I mean, they're not gonna close it all because that's where a lot of their stuff comes through too. But yeah, then we'll still have access to get to where our Stone Road starts there, across the old road. I mean, I guess if worse came to worse, maybe that's something we need to write in, just so long as we don't have access.
So anyway, it's now brought to your attention, and we'll discuss it at such time that Mark does some research and figures out what we need to do.
I'd make sure that's wrote in there that we still have access to our road.
I think the trucks use it to get back to the scale house.
Yeah.
So
there's
that's
all
what's
kinds of
back
traffic
there.
there.
So would it be done as an easement or done as turning over the property?
You could turn it over and then retain a right of ingress egress if that's what you want to do. I need to look at it here.
I think we might as well wait, but Mark do some more research on that, and come back with a recommendation on that. Is there anything urgent that they, in the team frame to,
They would like to, the next improvement to that road they're gonna do, they would like to do here, by the end of August. So but I don't, our two properties aren't gonna affect what they want.
okay.
Because go on, so if we could just turn that thing over to them, we don't have to worry about it, and they can do whatever they want with the road, get improved. Because we're not gonna be doing 4 foot concrete. We're just, we're not gonna do that.
So 1100 South comes in from the east, right?
Yes.
Who uses, is that, well, that's county road.
I don't know that much traffic goes through there. It's usually turned off, but.
Yeah, when you get back onto that Stone Road, it's narrow and it, all it does is connect in all over by the gravel pit. Nobody lives on it and it's all, like,
Ground.
yeah, bottom swamp ground. I think
Basically,
it's-
farmers in there to probably get to their fields.
And that, and if you wanna go back here and do whatever, nobody will see that.
Except the other one that are doing that.
Exactly, there you go. Yeah, there's no houses until you get over by the old gravel pit and then it's gonna chip and seal.
My head, like.
Do we have any need to come in from the west?
I'm coming in from the west, you're coming off of 27.
Yeah, does the county have any need to come in from the west at all? Because that's all surrounded by redwood property.
Well, you gotta get straight through there. There's no turnaround once you go up over the old tracks.
I don't know how far that road goes to the west.
It just, it starts at 27.
I'm not sure we'll have to look, but
I'm
I'm
not
not,
going by there today, it just looks like it's overgrown with foliage on that side of it.
It's there.
I question whether there's any right of way through the middle there. I need to look at that.
There's an easement that's back in there.
Looks to me like it just dead ends.
Active?
What?
Is it active? I mean, there's actually.
Yeah.
Designated as South Street, I think, for Geneva, so I need to look at the plat.
And just as a side note, two years ago, when they went in and started that improvement, they didn't ask for permission. So I contacted the Geneva manager at that point, and we met down there. And we were just talking, and he said, that's not our street. And I said, well, it's not our road either, 27, to the Stone Road. And so that's why, that's why I wanted to do this process and having the background work done. Whose actually is it?
Yeah.
If it's ours, can we just turn it over to them?
That's something Mark will be able to.
And that's what I mean, once we do get all the background work and that done.
I'll have to talk to Mike Whirling, see what we show. Because what I'm seeing on GIS doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think on the email, they said there should be some drawings on some deeds and stuff as well, but.
You guys grade that still, Brett?
What's that?
You still grade that road?
Yeah, we still rock, we do that half milestone, that narrow road. Yeah. Still maintained.
Maybe if Mark and Mike can talk Thursday or something, maybe get something figured out.
Yeah, let me just put something on my,
So would we, like say if we turn it over to them to improve, so we would be done with that road then? Is that-
Well, with that section, we wouldn't have to maintain that anymore. And like I said, I don't know that we've ever maintained. Geneva said they've never really done anything with us. I'm not sure that going from their property, going east on the Stone Road, yeah, that would still be hard. But it's all low ground back in there, and honestly, I think the last time I was through there, I'm not even sure the farming would be. It's all grown up in the natural habitat. It's swamp. Yeah.
Well, there's nobody's farming either
I
side
don't think
anymore.
they're farming either side anymore. I'd have to drive down there and check now. That was like when I started this process. One part of the original lumber loss. Yeah, it's narrow. It'd be tight passing anybody in there, even in 2 cars. It's tight.
On that spoil.
Is that on the south side of town?
Yes, right there on the south side of town.
25,000.
But there, we closed the Corn West down, because that old mud road.
Yeah. You can't get through there.
No. Could we do the same on the east side from the railroad tracks on if it's not used?
Wouldn't bother me any.
People go in there too and do whatever.
Well, that's what I'm talking, that's what I mean.
It's already.
You know, if that whole thing is a problem.
100,000.
That T's right up there.
Jim, we were just talking about bird watching. So she would
we may just abandon it.
We currently have 50.
To close that, I'm not use that anymore.
I'll have to.
We'd have to abandon we'd have to abandon a portion of the roads if that's 100,000. It looks like Redgo owns the property on the north, south, and then Harry Brickley Farm Foundation owns some acreage on the north side of 1100 south side.
Open that up to some snipe hunting. So if we abandoned it, Redgo took over with that, would he still have access to his property at Berkeley?
Mm-hmm. Yep. From the east. Which I'm sure is how they're accessing it now.
And it's in a floodplain?
It's underwater more than it's not.
I'm not sure about floodplain, it's all swamp.
Yeah.
It's marked classified forest.
Yep. So if we abandoned that, you just road closed?
Yeah.
It would be closed at whatever point you close it. You would probably leave it open back up to. You can leave it open up to where Red Gold owns on either side. We'd have to talk to them about it.
Just beyond the old tracks and Red Gold, that gets underwater there too.
Yeah, it's just all low.
Yeah.
Well, I would say, Brad, between you and Mark, if you can come back with a recommendation on what works for you and what Mark thinks would be best, you know, then, that's something we can discuss next week, or do you guys need more
Mark, you
time?
probably want some more time.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to Red Gold too. There's some sort of a tower or something back there that we've got a easement, that we've got some property for. I don't know what that is.
So maybe there's a lease involved with that, maybe, huh?
I don't know what this thing is.
What's this?
Red Gold Tower.
Might require a drive down there to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't get lost.
But tell Mike Brown to take the drone down there and do some survey work from the air.
Anyway, the process is now started.
All right. Is that something you want to kind of follow with Brad and Mark, since you're kind of familiar with the property too?
I can do that.
You guys can kind of come back to us with what you think is best. All right. Anything else on that today?
I am done with my stuff.
Stomping grounds, but since he said you go back there and do this, it wasn't my old
All
stomping.
right. Brad, if you'd like to come up. Good old man.
Okay, the first thing I have this morning. Orchard Bridge 106 is done. They've been watering it, the sod's grown, the grass is growing. And so now I have a certificate of substantial completion that has been signed by the engineering firm and the contractor that did the job. Now we need the owner, the Adams County Board of Commissioners. Also, we need an authorized signature to sign this certificate of substantial completion. So I don't know, Mark, do they need a motion to have Stan sign this, or can Stan just sign it as the chair?
What is it?
It's a certificate of substantial completion, Bridge 106.
Yeah, is that provided by the engineer?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, you probably just have a motion to approve it and sign it.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay. Very good.
All right. Too bad Eric's not here today, because I have permits.
That's the highlight of his day.
Yes, it is. And no, I don't know how many poles there are. Exactly. A lot of them are different. So these are all for Indiana Michigan Power, 3 different locations, so I can go ahead and read all 3 of them. So the first one will be on Monmouth Road at the north end of the treatment plant there, just, by Bungie and all that. And they're installing 2 new poles and replacing 5. The second one is on County Road 200 East between 100 North and State Road 124. And they're replacing 2 poles. And the last one is on County Road 200 East between 100 South and 300 South. And there again, there's some customers that don't need power out there, so I shouldn't assume why they're doing things, but they're actually removing a couple poles and just then replacing some other poles to update them. And I went out and drove all of them, they're all where they're at, they put them at the same spot, they're good. And that's it.
I'll make a motion to approve the 3 requests for the permits for I&M.
Second.
Okay, motion carries.
You gotta just get the front page of each of the other. I'm sorry, I forget, I talk fast sometimes, and that's happening. Yeah, it's just easy if I get the front page, I can just do it when I get back up there, so. Less chance of me getting it messed up.
Yeah. So while you guys were signing those, I'll hand these out. We've got our monthly draw. Tony, do you want one of these? Yeah. Thank you. Sure.
I'm so staged.
All right, for the month of July, if you guys are ready, Ring VH draw for month of July was $317,654.43. $317,654.43. And just an interesting comparison, if you kind of look back, like the last year and that, a lot of years, July does go up, but people are driving, vacations, holidays. So that's still good news. People are still driving. On the backside, the local road and streets for July, $46,971.28. $46,971.28.
No, no.
Yeah, overall, it looks good. It really does. Hopefully, we can keep that trend moving.
Now, you did get an increase when they raised the,
No,
sales tax?
No.
As of August 1st?
no, we get a set amount, and that's it. It's a set, I don't want to say cents, so many cents. So it's not a percentage, so it doesn't go up or down with any of their taxes or any of that. It is a set amount per gallon, so. That'd be nice, but
Well, I didn't know if it did.
no, we don't. That's why it's not nice.
It may be that. You don't know.
Well, that's true too, yeah, maybe, right, but no, we do not.
I make a motion to enter the report into the minutes.
Second. Okay, motion carries.
Oh, one other thing I'd like to, another thing I'd like to bring up is just a reminder, the amount of rain we got Sunday. I urge people to be careful when they're out driving. I didn't have any problems really, but there was a lot of roads that were flooded. There were some roads that had water in them that don't usually get water. And I just want to get it out there that you gotta remember in a 3 to 5 inch rain, those kind of things are gonna happen. It's just nature, the way it is, so. We did keep an eye on that stuff. We were out all day yesterday, and basically by yesterday afternoon, everything was down. Rivers never came out, never had any flooded roads that way, so that was good news, so.
Some roads just come out because of the creek.
About how we decide which stone roads to convert from chips. We were made aware a few weeks ago how another county does it. We thought, hey, that's a really good idea. We like the way they do it. And the way they, a quick brief rundown, people petition to have their stone road converted, but they've got to get everybody, every landowner on that road, that portion of road, to agree to it. And they've got to get every landowner to agree to give additional right of way. And I like the way they do it because, they're going after 60-foot right of way because we all know everything's tight. And you go to do side ditches right, and a lot of our roads are narrow. Like to, get them out to at least 20 feet, if not 22 feet, if possible. But there's a lot of work involved with that. So you need to redo side ditches.
I kind of like the idea. I got a question of, when, Ed Coyle and Harry Anderson were commissioners, they vowed to get the whole county chip and sealed and blacktopped, and that was 1990, and here we are in 2022.
Yeah.
And how many roads we,
106 miles of stone road.
106 miles of stone roads, 32 years, and we still got that many miles.
And, excuse me, the other thing I'd like to add too, when we do a new converter road, we will go in and check the condition of all the pipes under that road. And if they need replaced, we will replace them. So that's another thing. And then we'll build the roads up too, get them built up, so they're maybe not as prone to flooding, and so it sheds off correctly to the side ditches. So in that process too, it's not like, oh yeah, we're getting it done, we go out and do it. There's also other things we like to do first to do it correctly. So in that process, so we go in and we like to do the pipe first because that needs to settle. Those trenches need to settle. And we like to see them settle for at least a season. And then come in and you'll put all the stone on when you're done tearing it up. And then
So how do we decide now what roads get from stone to
basically it's, up to me and Paul and I and my assistant talk, and we look at, I want to be careful how I say it because I don't want people to get the wrong impression, but the amount of traffic on the road, the amount of houses on the road, and that's our biggest deciding factor. Because, there are some stone roads we've talked about before that do get a lot of traffic because of the shortcut to get someplace. So basically, it's up to us to decide what gets done.
Well, I think you have to look at it as to, how can you spend your money, time, and effort to create the most benefit for the most residents of Adams County.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, not that we don't want to do every road, but if nobody lives on the road, really, why convert it at that point?
Because if you get onto a road, then there's probably those stone roads where we have to put county sewer, I would say. But there's probably other utilities as far as cable, fiber, tile,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah.
So this is just something I thought was interesting. I want to bring it up to you guys.
if we would do something like this, how would we get this out to the public so they could get these? You would, put it in the paper, or how would you do it? So people would know.
Yeah, we could put it in the paper, but
There's not really.
and just our course of talk with people, you'd be surprised how many people ask when they're going to get done.
Of all the people that have asked me about getting their road paved, I would love to hand them a petition and say, this is how you get on the list. I would love to see something like that.
And especially, and I'll just, like when we're doing buggy plates, all those people are coming in. And it's amazing how many ask, when are you going to do my road?
Yeah.
So right there again, if we'd have this available in the office, right, here's the process you need to follow, and there you go.
They'd have to understand this doesn't guarantee you're gonna do the road next year.
No, exactly.
If they want progress, they wanna see progress.
If they would fill this out, they would be feeling like if they didn't get the road paved, that it's.
Mark have a chance to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a chance to look through it. If you want to kind of do about it too.
that ordinance, as far as the right of way and so forth, and a petition.
Yeah, however we will.
We probably need to sit down and just
Trying
draft
to
it.
hash it over.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to give them the false idea that they were getting there.
well, no, but that would definitely, help Brad and Paul decide,
And
hey, these people, they've got their ducks in a row.
yeah,
this road is ready to go when we are. So.
And when we talked to the gentleman from Wells County, you know, that showed this to us, he said, you'd be surprised. You'd think everybody would be jumping on the bandwagon. But he said to actually get 100% participation on a stretch of road and actually have it come to fruition, if that's what you want to say, he says there might be one section a year that actually has everything ready to go. So it's, there again, it's not a quick process where we're going to go out and do 10 miles of road a year, you know, because that'd be probably beyond our capabilities anyhow. But he said you'd be surprised. It's not as bad as you think.
9.5.
There you go. That'd be great. So yeah, no, I like the way they do it. It's a good process. You know, if you guys would be in agreement, it'd be something I could, there again, it's another thing, sit down with Mark and we could discuss.
That'd be great. I think it'd be good. Yeah. I think we can.
You need a motion to get more.
What's that?
Process?
No,
Okay. We're starting the process. All right. It started where they're out, there's going to be more.
yeah, we don't need a motion.
Okay, hey, other than that, we had a good week last week, Chipsville. You know, we're, of course, yesterday with them, things were wet, they're out today, we're gonna go again tomorrow, it's, we've had a couple of truck issues, but as of right now today, all the trucks are out running. Yeah, it's going well.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank
Brad.
you, sir.
Yep, thank you guys, have a good day.
All right. Everybody happy and comfortable?
I don't know if everybody's very happy,
Oh,
all of them, but try to keep them cool on you.
yeah.
That's so far. Speaking of that, I came in here a couple times this week and I don't know if the power went out here or not, but I'm kind of having to keep a closer eye on that chiller we got running. I mean, it's working. I had to restart it up again, so. It's been going in and out a couple times. We'll see. It's working now.
And that's the one that's running with two compressors.
But no harm, no foul. It was the weekend. It's ringing ever since. It was a little, I thought the humidity was up in here Monday when I came in. Seemed like the floor was, you know, you can walk in your tennis shoes kind of squeak, especially out here, so. But we got a string of hot days here, so.
Yeah, we had some super humid days.
It's gonna stay here for a little while, I think.
Yeah.
But so far, still going. Some of this might be a little bit redundant. I just kind of wanted to bring it back up, but I haven't really, I might have spoken to you two a couple times, but Steve, the health clinic, the AC, that's done up there. It's installed and all done, so.
Working good.
Yeah, I think it's gonna serve its purpose for me. As I stated before, the only thing that it's not hooked to is the generator, because our generator is broken. But, it's installed, it's there. Let's just say that chiller would go out and it starts getting a little warm in here, they'll have that for a backup. It's good. I thought they did a good job with that, and getting here, getting it done, and that's Don Myers that did that job, Judd himself. So that's done. I've received one elevator quote back. Called the company again Friday and Monday. Otis, I'm trying to get a quote from Otis. Schindler has been here, looked at it, but I've not received their quote. So hopefully we get that soon. I'll call them again. Yesterday, I got informed, which I kind of knew this was coming, our supplies for the building, paper towel, TP, those type of essential things, that price is gonna go up anywhere from 11 to 21%. I kind of knew this was coming. I think I brought it up earlier in the year. This was gonna happen. It's happening with everything and everywhere, as y'all well know. I kind of seek out to see another company or two. They're all kind of about the same, and so,
You see this with all your supplies?
yeah, it's mainly the things that we use weekly, daily. The TP, soap, paper towels, it's gonna go up.
But you can still get it, I mean, it's,
You
you're
can
not,
still get it. And that's another thing. I was kind of afraid of branching out to anybody else. We use a company called 4U out of Salina. They've been good at making sure we have that stuff. To go to someone else, you don't really, maybe cheaper for now, but you never really know.
Right.
You know, if you go to somebody else, are they gonna be able to supply us?
and we've been using this company for quite a while. So, yeah, I would just stick with you.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But I did want to venture out and just see where we were. And these prices are very comparable to everybody else. So, thing where I am in my budget with that, I'm probably a little over half of what I had budgeted for those type of supplies. So we'll just have to see where I am. And we're going into the 8th month now.
Yeah, so really, all in all, your budget's kind of holding up for now.
For that, to see how much of an increase we get here. And that was budgeted pretty close. Well, it's kind of showing, I guess. You're right, Stan.
It's not like we have to think about going to hair dryers and bathrooms or anything like that. Budget time this year, you want to make sure you're over it with council to tell them you might need more of that line because of these kind of increases.
Well, if you remember right, I tried coming down.
I know. Try again.
Yeah.
If we put bidets in all the bathrooms, would that save on toilet paper? Like that.
We do one of Brad's surveys.
Right off.
Oh, that's what Brad surveys out, see if that'll work. I don't know.
We could start contributing. For the bidet and
We had issues with the door of Superior Court, the front entrance. I think the plunger was bad, rock goes down. So 4 o'clock, whenever the doors had the lock, it wouldn't shut off because it was sticking. And so they got that fixed last Friday. It was nothing more than you had to pull it shut. It should have already been shut. And then when it came 4 o'clock, bang, it should have locked. And that wasn't happening.
And it did.
Yeah, but it's fixed now.
So it didn't create a security issue overnight.
Well, what had to happen is Carrie or somebody would have had to went out there and pull it shut.
Oh, I see.
I mean, it would have, had they not been on top of it to see that it was latching, locking.
Yeah.
But it's fixed. Generator for this building. I don't know what happened with Cummings. They're the ones that came here and was gonna calc out what size generator we needed for this facility here. Several calls, emails, no response back. And I don't understand why. And I had asked Gene Blakey because Gene Blakey has been involved with that with us too. And same thing, no response. So I've moved on. To a company called Everpar. I don't know if you've heard of them. Everpar. A gentleman's going to be coming in here when I can coordinate the time for Gene to be here also. And we're going to go through that process again. But basically, this is what we have. This might be our future state going forward. This is how much service we have in here. This is our peak times, all that information. And I just spoke to him before I came in here, so we're gonna get that thing, I'm just moving on from
Where are
that.
they out of?
They are out of, I believe it's Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
Rick, that's nothing that Matt from Core Facilities would help with, is it?
Possibly.
I didn't know whether he would have involved or not. That was
You know, I was kind of lingering on Cummings because they would have been so good about things. And that's, I believe that's who we have out at the jail. Kind of one of those things, maybe a better price.
Is it a deal, does Generac make anything big enough for?
That's what they do. That's what this company does for industrial.
Oh,
Over the phone, we can do this for you.
I see.
He had asked me about the natural gas. I said, well, I think there's might be a little issue, but with your expertise, I need to ask you. Our line may not be big enough to run a generator that we have coming into our building. The line itself, and that would have to all be redone. So it's either be that or diesel. Diesel. Anyway, that's what's going on with the generator.
Yeah.
A lot of other different things, inspections, but other than that. You guys have any?
And when I think of Superior Court, anything on that DMV?
One day when I was lowering the flag, unfortunately for things that go on in this crazy world, Judge Conrad was coming by. I asked him about that. Hey, Judge, where are we at? And I suggested maybe that we bring this to the meeting on Thursdays. He said, I think the only location for that, I'm going to talk to him, is the library.
Oh,
So at that time, I think his consensus is that's the best place for it for now. So I have not heard no more about that. But he kind of said that he thought that's the direction.
so that would kind of take that out of our,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Because at that point, we got nothing to do with it.
And I think that's where he was, the last I spoke to him, that's where that was.
Okay. Back to the chillers again. I was looking at an email from Matt at Core Facilities. He's still kind of thinking we're on track for September, October. Is that
I mean, last time I talked to John Gilbert, he just said, look, I know it's supposed to be November. I don't know.
or maybe Matt was just kind of
Well, the
had his
example that John gave me, John Gilbert, BTS is Belmont High School had one ordered, which was bigger than what we're getting, both of them. And it was supposed to be in June. And it's now going to be September is what he told me over the phone for that. So he said, that's why I'm a little leery if it would be. That was the extent of the conversation, and that was the end of it. So, because school was out and they wanted theirs in June, and so he goes, they're not going to receive theirs until September. So
yeah.
hopefully,
Yeah, because he just says here on the sideline, we're still projecting September, October for chillers to arrive. So I thought, oh, that's good news.
hopefully. But we want it done then. I mean, we don't want to wait until we're going to be in dead winter. You're going to have your January, February, and then, you're around in March and we want to get it in.
I bet it doesn't sound like there's been any progress on getting a couple of new compressors.
No, I've not heard a thing back from him, and I left him a message. But he wasn't very promising on that either when I asked him about that. But still, he hasn't contacted me back.
Yeah. All right.
Just as long as he doesn't say, hey, I got the compressors when the chillers get here.
Well, it was very strict contingent on this. You tell me if you can locate them first.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm not telling
But
you we're
are we-
doing it.
Right. Well, I mean, we're getting along the way we are. Do we even wanna?
Well,
like I know we're not gonna have
just
children.
briefly thoughts ahead. I mean, we gotta go through August yet too.
Put in this.
Yeah.
Right.
But, yeah, no, that was, in my opinion, that was crystal clear. You see if you can locate what we have.
Then we make up the decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the age-old question, how long do you drive a used car? Or they just sit alongside the road?
And to be quite honest,
That's why the Lord give you two legs.
That's
that time comes and let you guys make the decision.
yeah. Progress downstairs, still moving around. Waiting on Bloom.
Yeah, we're waiting on, I don't understand it. I mean, just emailed him again yesterday, Josh, blank with his last name. Prior to 4th of July, look, I'm on vacation. I forgot to send them to you, the drawings. When I get back, I'll send them to you. Emailed him again. I think Bob Hanks is here. Tell him what's going on. I mean, I just haven't heard back from him. That's the hiccup right now, going forward with that.
Did we ever figure out, on that tornado drills and stuff, having to come through their emergencies?
Well, I think that when we last talked about that, we were wanting to put maybe signs up directing them
So did we ever do that? Or
to get down in there.
has that ever been done?
The signs?
Yes.
No. No, it's not.
As it is now, that hallway is still.
It's
still
open.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not locked down.
Yeah.
The only time that's locked down is after 4 o'clock with the fire doors.
Yeah.
But those are open. They may not have them open down there, but they're not locked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was
that's,
just curious.
but when that happens, prior to that happening, and I think those were other decisions too that were gonna be discussed. They're gonna be locked or they're not gonna be locked, or what we're gonna do during working hours. No final decision, I don't think was made on that.
I know they're really, obviously on the chairs. Let's say if something happens to where they got those in this fall, are you gonna be looking at a roof next year? Probably. Okay.
And my budget will reflect that for just this building, what I put in for. And I submitted $100,000 to put in for a roof for this building.
Did you ever get bids back for the roof?
Yeah, I've gotten, actually, probably, I think 3. But we probably won't be able to hold them to that, that's
Right.
But at least they've all got the specs, so
Yeah.
if they have an update.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we need to do it. With all that heavy rain we got, I was mopping yesterday morning, in the men's bathroom for sure, up on the 3rd floor. If it rains hard and comes from a certain direction, it comes in there. It's one of the places.
Yeah.
And the reason that hasn't been done, we know is because of the condensers that gotta go on the roof and be taken off.
Yeah.
That's the next thing that I'd like to do, other than the generators, get this roof done.
Well, that'll be nice to get those up there. Get that roof done next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And I've seen a couple more companies that have advertised different things, maybe just sought after too. I mean, that's not gonna happen until October, November. I think we have time to do that. Different type of material, that's what they have offered. 6 companies that got, they were 3 different types of what we maybe wanna go to or not do, material wise.
One other thing, well, and I know we've talked in the past, you know, since Mark's here too, about, you've been your maintenance employee as far as kind of working together a little bit with the maintenance employee to share a little bit. So I don't know.
Well, and Mark is, okay. I believe Mark was on vacation. He got back and he emailed me, I think that Monday. And told me that, you know, he had his new employee hired and everything. And I believe my response back to him was, great. I'd like for him to meet my staff. Maybe we can all meet together. But maybe this is just his first week, and I think Mark was on vacation. Let him get a little acclimated to what's going on in his facility. And then maybe sometime mid-August, we would meet and then maybe go over some type of a schedule and what some of my ideas was. And Mark was expressed a couple of days, maybe that would work for them. Go from there.
I just think that's neat that you two are working on that together to work together with similar job duties.
Yeah, and
People.
I mean, it's great. I mean, it'll help me. I hope it works out. I don't know why it won't. Be flexible. There's some things I think that I could have routinely have him do.
Yep, I appreciate you two working together. Yep. Any other questions? Good, all right. You got a lot on your plate.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
All right, Ed?
Good morning, gentlemen. Mine is a little simpler. I got three things. Taxes continue to come in. We're doing really good. We're holding at 98.73% for the spring. And we're happy with that. Courtesy letters continue to do their job, and people come in, and for the most part, they just forget. Some people are grumbling just a little bit, but they realize they have to pay the taxes.
I still like it when you call them courtesy letters. It sounds so nice.
Well, again, and I've said this before, but we're not required by state statute to do that. And a lot of counties don't, because it's an added thing that we
Do you just send out one or do you send out multiple?
We'll do it once every tax season. So we'll do the spring, then we'll do another one in the fall, after they come through. But it really helps. I mean, it really helps. So I get that percentage up there. And I've talked to that with the Indiana County Treasurers Association, and some other counties are starting to look at that. And I've sent out sample letters, what we do. It's really relatively simple. And you can print out the report, real easy on who's delinquent, and send that to them. There's a way in your Excel program where it automatically puts out the labels, and it's really, you know, click, 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 and you're done. So it's not a whole lot of work, but it's just something you gotta get in the workflow.
But it pays off.
Oh, yeah, big time it comes in. It keeps people off the tax sale bills and stuff. So it's all good. I'm really happy with that program. Investments, we've had two bonds that have come due this month. One came due Friday, and another one today, actually, that has come to maturity. And that gives me a little money to reinvest. And I also have some money that I did not reinvest the last go around, because the Fed rates are going to be changing here. Don't know how much, but it looks like they might change a pretty good chunk to where there'll be some opportunities there. And I'm looking to take a chunk and reinvest it. But I have my portfolio set pretty well right now. And I'm very happy with that. So we can talk specifics if you like, but it's in good shape. And then 2 weeks from today, Kathy and I will be heading to the Indiana County Treasurers Association. It's a called state meeting, and we'll be going for 3 days. We're actually coming in Tuesday for the 3 days.
projects that we're going. And speaking with Deb, I also have everything scheduled for this fall, for tax season. So everything's in good shape.
So is Kim back full time?
Yes. She is full-time. She's still working partial hours and till she gets her complete doctor's clearance. But yeah, everything's good.
Good.
She was here yesterday. She'll be here tomorrow. We're doing this slow and easy because I wanted to be half once.
Yeah.
And not go too fast and have to start over.
All right.
Any questions on that? Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thanks, Ed. Thanks, Ed.
As far as the air conditioning, my 2 cents is don't spend the extra money to get these compressors that we'll only need for a couple of months at the most. If the thing falls apart, we'll tough that. That's my 2 cents.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Ed. All right, Mark? Sorry, wrong Mark. Too many Marks in there. Mark Will. I don't know why they always put you last. Yeah.
Sir?
Right back.
Well, as you can see,
We must have some big homes going up.
there's one that's 2 point something.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
There we go.
Most expensive one I've ever seen.
That'd be a nice. Everybody's wondering, it's not me.
So put the short,
Put in with it too?
I actually don't even know.
You got one,
Might be inside.
you got one pool there.
Yeah.
Oh, 6 ponds too, geez.
And nothing slowed down. 48 permits, 50 last year. Only 8 behind a year ago. So we're still on pace to probably get over 400 again.
I think maybe down on that, but look at the cost.
Need a motion. Set this.
Yeah, unless you've got any other questions or if you've got anything else you want to highlight.
I'll make a motion.
Second. Okay. Very good. Motion carries to accept that. For Taylor to record.
We have a piece of hunting ground that has been split into two. That is, Price Bridge, 150 west, and then south, 50 south. Just before you get to a mile north of Geneva, half a mile north of Geneva.
Oh, I know right where that's at.
So, well, that's 127 right here, goes right there. This is the piece we're talking about. There's Price Bridge would be right there.
So it's cut from here
You know,
to,
they're cutting it across. It comes up to this point right here. Okay, now that's part of this, you know, you don't get river, but that is part of this little square. And why, can't answer one question, I have no idea why they have points like this, because I don't see anything it's particularly following, unless there's some sort of fence there I don't know about. Why they go around the pond and and hit that mark and so change that mark, I have no idea. But
Is there elevations there or something maybe?
it's all floodplain, so they'll never be built here. This is all hunting ground. In fact, this used to be, this whole pond area, this was built by the government. They did all this in like a decade ago and made that natural waterway. It came out of whatever that was in the program, and then it got sold to private people, and they're dividing it, and it's just hunting ground.
Yeah, I looked at this with Whirlwind, so this was kind of a weird deal, but the original clause in the legal description goes to the top of the bank. And so the top of the bank over time has changed. And so for the subdivision, you go to the top of the bank and then you do these calls all the way around. Well, it's mostly around here with the river. These up here are okay, but right here, because the river's moved a little bit, we can still go to the top of the bank because that's how the original description calls it. So you got to go to the top of the bank. So the top of the bank previously presumably was here.
This got pulled into it because there was a deed overlap from these guys. And you can see how they like took this corner. It wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah.
So there was some deed overlap work that they figured out, so that's why that got following the river.
So this here is part of
Part of
this?
that.
Mhm. But we're approving the subdivision based on the best survey information that we have that's been presented to planning commission and the surveyor's office. So
They're not buildable, because of flood. It does have road frontage from this point to get to this lot 2 on 150, and then obviously you got all this and this, to get on lot 1.
City council.
Yeah,
They can't build up in here?
there might be some areas. I don't think so. I'd have to look at it again.
Because that's what I was told they were thinking about building up in on that end.
Yeah. I'd have to look at it closer, but I know 99% of that's floodplain.
Yeah.
Somebody'd have to come
It's
do
kind of a
that.
neat piece of ground.
It's rustic. I mean, I wouldn't want to walk through there with.
I'll better have hip boots on.
Yeah, that's smothering through that thing. It's got something.
I make a motion.
Second. All right, motion carries. So if there's a place in Adams County where Bigfoot is hiding, that would probably be it. Stan, screwed it up there.
That's all I got today. Thank you.
Now the other Mark. Well, thanks for the invitation.
Good morning, gentlemen. This is the monthly report for June 2022, Golden Meadows. Current population remains at 25 through June, 15 male, 10 female. Total amount charged or billed for the month of June was $29,498, with income and receipts coming in at $26,819.94, difference of a negative $2,678.06. Just a couple items to highlight real quick. We had taken the residents to a Tin Caps game last month, visited, I think we had 10 residents attend. We actually reserved a small area on the concourse. It was really nice. They provided food and drinks and dessert for us, so they had a really good time with that. So we always seem to get a good turnout for the Tin Caps game. As you are aware, Josh Tankersley recently resigned. We brought on Don Peterson. He started the week of the 4th of July. I think the 5th of July was his first day. Doing a great job so far, getting acclimated out there. Everybody seems to really like him, and he's kind of really hit the ground running. So to
Good,
speak.
that's
So,
pretty.
yeah, he's doing a great job. And I actually talked to him early on about working with Rick down here, that would be part of his normal duties, once we get schedules finalized and things like that. So he had no issues with that. I told him right up front that was going to be part of the deal. So,
Good deal.
so he's expecting that. And I anticipate probably the second week in August, we'll come down, meet with Rick and his folks and just have a little meeting and then kind of go over some scheduling.
Well, hopefully it turns out to be a good thing for both of you.
Right, exactly. I think it'll work out well. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so we're looking forward to that. We did have one other resignation. It was a part-time laundry worker. So we've made arrangements with used to be our housekeeper, moved over to laundry, and she's still doing some housekeeping duties. But we're also floating some of our aide positions and one of our resident workers out there to cover for the housekeeper. So it's working out right now. Technically, we have a vacancy, but the hours are being filled by other.
Are you gonna try to fill it?
I think we still have it posted, if I'm not mistaken, Shannon, for the housekeeping aide.
Have you had any response at all?
No, we really haven't. And the laundry lady that left due to pay and more hours. Her job was 28 hours a week. She's on the minimum pay scale, so just FYI on that, but,
She was minimum wage.
Not
But-
minimum wage.
well,
minimum
no,
wage.
yeah,
Oh.
on our scale.
Okay.
But that's all I have this morning, so.
I have a question for you, Marge. On working with the insurance company on our pharmaceutical inventory, like we have with the health department and so on, and food, what would you consider your inventory levels? Do you have any idea what that might be?
With pharmacy items, or,
Pharmaceutical plus the food inventories.
I think I know Angie, at the end of last year, she did a big purchase at the end of last year to kind of use up some of our funds, and we got some really good deals on some items, but I'm thinking she doesn't go much longer than about a month out with the food stocks. Now, milk and things like that, vegetables are, usually every week or every other week. She does local shopping at Kroger, which we get a little kickback from on that too. But do have a pretty good dry storage area downstairs. And I can tell you, canned foods, things like that, we probably have a good 4 to 6 month supply on those types of items. But the other perishables is going to be about a month probably. Pharmaceuticals, Marcia's been doing a really good job with our pharmacy program. And, we found out when she first came in, there was some monies that were untapped from the residents on a monthly basis. They get so much money a month towards Band-Aids and for, things like that. She's even able to get some food items, which is kind of helping supplement the kitchen a little bit too. Some of the Boost insured products, things like that she can order. So she's been really taking advantage of that, and it's not costing us anything because it comes out of what's allotted for the residents on a monthly basis. So I really don't have a good handle on other pharmacy items because I know a lot of the recurring prescriptions are, just fill as needed, or they won't fill them any sooner than they can.
Right.
But Tylenol, things like that, the normal, I would say we probably have a good 3-month supply of items like that. HBA products, we were very fortunate last year around Christmas time. We had a lot of donations come in from local organizations, places like that were always dropping off soaps and toothpaste and shampoos, things like that. So we really don't have a lot of expense with those types of items. The antibacterial soaps we use, but just regular household type stuff that we use. We probably had about 2 months supply build up of those items, which was really good for us. Toothpaste, we probably have 6-8 months worth, doesn't really go bad, but, so some items we have a lot of, others just, kind of as needed.
You think you got $25,000 worth of inventory?
I would say so. I'd say, yeah, I think that's probably pretty accurate.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, any other questions? All right, thank you very much. You want this record, or do we keep that?
We keep, I think it's better.
Okay, Shannon, did you have anything? No? All right. Mark, did you have anything for us today?
Oh, we just have the completed information questionnaire for the code of ordinance recodification. So that's completed. I'll check. I think Joanne Marie sent that back into American Legal Publishing, but see if she emailed that or not. I'll make a copy of this for you. Check with her. So that project is getting started, so. Yeah, we need to know what to send back to them and all that stuff. Yeah. And then I've done quite a bit of research on this ordinance, on the draft ordinance for trash and junk and debris. So I think we've got a meeting set on the 28th. I think it's next Thursday. And so we'll sit down and go through that. I can kind of cover the research that I've done on it. Some of the things that I've made a few changes to the ordinance, but we have to have some discussion about what all's in there and how it would be enforced and things like that.
So far, when I asked to set up the meeting, I've got Mark and the sheriff, the health department, and Mark went. So I was just gonna sit in on that meeting, and I don't know if we all need to sit in on there. Or do you want to, or? It's a meeting to discuss the treasure.
Which time?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday?
11 o'clock.
Next Thursday, 11 o'clock, right here?
I don't know, where do you want to have that?
I think we're doing it at our office.
Okay. Your office?
I believe that's what Brooks got set up. Copy of that. Were you sending these guidelines out then, Shannon?
Next week, give them a chance to read it.
All right. I've looked through it. Looks all right to me.
Well, yeah, I think that'll be a good thing, hopefully next Thursday, and big things.
I'll have to get together with Brad and we can talk about that. It'll either be a resolution or an ordinance. It might be a resolution in terms of road construction priority plan and donation of right of way. So get with him, we'll figure that out.
Good.
That's all I got.
Anything on interlocal agreements for the animal shelter?
Yeah, I just need that. I'll get them signed and have you guys sign this.
Okay.
Get those back here.
Good. And I'm not sure who I'm doing on this or what approach to take. You know, one time we had a contract to get, new pictures for the GIS. Is that something we need to talk to Mary, you think, or is that something that, because I mean, the last pictures we got are leaves on. And I know that at one time we were talking about doing the leaves off, which they usually do in February. But I think that contract kind of got, mixed up or misunderstood.
So I think we told them we were not gonna do one this year.
Okay.
And so if you wanna do one next year, then you gotta decide how, you know, what you want. You want leaves on, leaves off? You gotta figure out.
Well, and I think if we had leaves off, that's what seemed, and see, part of it was through, the sheriff's department, because they use it, and I think they use our pictures too. But they use Google Earth also, but, so they use our pictures, the assessors use our pictures, and I don't know. if EMS uses them, but building and planning uses them. Yeah, but when Don first started this, he came before council, and there were going to be several other departments that would participate in the payment of this because they all took value from it. But I think it ultimately came out of his budget. Nobody else contributed. This is something that will be done next year. You definitely want to let Mary know so she can make sure that's budgeted, and anybody else that you think wants to pay a portion of that would need to budget it as well. Well, and it almost makes me wonder, since there's so many departments using it, whether it's something that the commissioners need to look at doing. I don't know, what's your thoughts on getting something like this done? As far as budgeting, as far as, because I think Ethan would probably be the one to interact with them, I suppose, as far as getting it set up.
I think we need to talk to the assessor and see what they've got budgeted for reassessment, because that's something they budget for reassessment,
Okay.
and see how much she's got budgeted, and maybe she had some budgeted this year that she didn't use. So for the 2023 budget, make sure that you've got, we should make sure she's got the funds in there to do it, and then if it turns out that there's some enhancement, maybe you want to fly at a different time because you think that, you know, maybe leaves off is a better data, and that costs more, and maybe she doesn't have that increased cost budgeted, then that would be something for the commissioners to say, okay, where else can we get funds to do this? So I think it's really more of a, you know, it's a funding thing, and that depends upon the types of pictures you want to take. Obviously, there's a lot of people that use the GIS system daily, you know, every day.
Yeah.
And that's not, you know, just public employees and public, you know, departments. I mean, it's city, it's county, it's farmers, business people, real estate individuals, just, it's used constantly. And so the more current information that you have, better it is. And so, and if you look at the GIS, you know, all the historical areas are there too. So you can look at, you know, generally I'm looking at the ones that are most current. But if you want to go back in time and see what was there, you know, 6 years ago, you can do that too. And so I think it's a valuable tool. It's used by a lot of individuals. So definitely we ought to try to keep it up to date. I think there's still time if you figure out how you want that done by budget hearings. That can be discussed at the budget hearings, and if more is needed in reassessment or something, that would be the time to have that discussion. Or if you want to from somewhere else, or however you want to do it, even though they submitted in September when they're going to go through those. So you have time.
Okay. Well, let me check with two people. Let me check with Ethan and Mary and see what kind of connections Ethan has and see what Mary's got as far as her budget for reassessment and how that's looking, and see what I can find out. So,
Yeah, so right now on the site, we've got aerials from 1977. If that's all just photographic, it's not digital, it's just photographic, black and white, which is interesting to look at. Then we've got 2011 aerials, which would have been, we flew that would, Pat Norton was probably here then. And then you got 2017 aerials, which I think was the flood. There may even be other aerials for flood. And then you got 2020, which are the most recent. So, no, it's a valuable tool. Let me see, I thought we had flood layer on here too.
I don't know if that's access to the public. Of course, you probably got more access than the general public.
No, I don't. I'm just looking at the public site. I don't know what else I could even get. Yeah, at one point we had, I can't even remember now, when was the big flood?
Was it 03 or was it 13? Well,
Can't remember.
I think it was 2013.
03 was a big flood.
Yeah. But I know there was another one, 13, and I think that was the one.
Well, I believe we have it. It may not all be up on the public site, but I know we've flew a number of different times. But I know we did right after the major flood that we had, which was before you built the new jail. The commissioners authorized a flight right at just within a day or so of the high water mark and got that flight done.
Oh, so that's on there too?
We have that data, I just don't know that it's on the public site anymore. Not sure that it is.
27 was closed out of Geneva for a week. For a week.
Because that was helpful to be able to see
That was in 03.
kind of what happened.
The only thing that comes up on mine is 2011, 2017, and 2020.
Mm-hmm. Well, but yeah, we should talk to the assessor and see what she's got budgeted and.
Okay. And we're still looking at moving some offices around. Shannon has moved her office, and so we're gonna look at a couple other offices maybe that might create a more beneficial space for everybody, so. Okay. Anything else?
I got a couple of things, Stan.
Okay.
Talk about this storage insurance coverage that we have here. Coverage we have is $50,000 with a $5,000 deductible. That's in our package. We know the health department had said we had about 400,000. We got inventories at Golden Meadows. We got inventories at the jail. And so we're giving a couple prices here on some increases. If we went up to $100,000 with a $5,000 deductible, which is what we got now, it'd be an additional $120. If we went up to $400,000, the deductible would be $25,000. The additional cost would be $360. So we probably should maybe take a look at that, increasing that coverage.
So would that spellage include the vaccines we've got in the health department, or is that a
Well,
separate?
that's why we. $100, that would do the total. That
So,
was the total inventory that they had.
so that would be,
And that fluctuates, that goes up and down, but I mean, that would be a peak. You got your jail,
yeah,
all the food, and whatever pharmaceuticals they have, and you gotta go with Meadows, it's got food from some pharmaceuticals, not much, but
and that carries a $25,000 deductible.
that's of 25 going up to $400,000 with the $25,000.
And that cost is,
$360 is what she told me today. Just for 360.
what's your thought?
Well, listening to Mark, told me, if we'd have 25,000 at his facility, would we?
I
Doubt
I
it.
pegged it high, but I
I
doubt it.
doubt it. I don't know how much we would have at the jail. How much would we have at the jail?
Well, you got a lot more food inventory there because of the inmates. I mean, Mark, you're looking at 25 residents, you're looking at what, 110 out there, 115?
Well, Gold Meadows is a generated building, jail is a generated building.
Here's a generated building.
Here's a generated building, but that would be our biggest loss, would be the health department.
Oh, yeah, that'd be the biggest.
So I'd say if we're gonna cover anything, it's like, say if they lost their food at the jail, our deductible, we probably would need to turn that in as a
Now,
claim.
this increase, this would be part of a package. In other words, it just wouldn't be health department. So either one of them would come under that loss category.
Right.
Would we, I'm just asking, would we have to change by getting the new generator and stuff? I mean, sometimes you can be overinsured. I'm asking.
You could, I mean, if you wanted to increase it now until they get the generator in, drop it. You could do whatever you want to on that. I don't care. I mean, this is information I know.
Like, say there are 3 generators for the vaccines, we've already got them on a generator. If the generator fails, we've got them on uninterrupted power supply. And then if those both fail, then we've got them on notification that the temperature is not compliant to where we'd have to move them. So I mean, we've got a couple layers of protection there, but
Is that yearly or monthly?
Yearly.
Yearly.
I mean, it's not an expensive premium to add to
No.
our policy.
It's not. I would say just do it for $360.
So,
Do the 400.
I would, if you're gonna do,
It's not that much, $260.
no.
Okay, I guess that's taken care of.
So do we need to make a motion on that or?
Sure.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
okay.
Then the other thing we have those 2 invoices from CX Tech concerning, we happened a year ago with the fire out of Gold Meadows. Got 2 invoices, one for $69.80, one for $37.38.45. I got the call from the owner to the insurance company, and the adjuster who handled it has retired, so we put on a new adjuster. So they're still going to have to be paid, but I'm waiting from a coverage standpoint. She thought they'd be covered, but we do have to pay them.
Well, I'm saying if they turn them in a year late, they can wait on their money until the adjuster, that's my opinion, until the adjuster decides what's going on.
We'll probably, he's got to review the files and everything, but they were not turned in. We're not with the expenses that were turned in.
And that wasn't our fault.
No, we just got these things here.
Yeah. So a year old, I'd say just wait, hold off on paying them. What do you think, Stan?
Well, yeah, I never understood why we didn't get invoiced for until a whole year.
Well, I mean, none of us can answer that question.
Yeah. So, I guess I wrote a time lapse on some of that stuff too. I mean,
That was what my fear was, but Carla turned it in, so she turned it over to him, so.
I guess let's
She went over the lapse and.
okay. Let's give Carla and that adjuster a little bit more time to see what they come up with, or do you think we need to do something now?
Well, I mean, they can't, it's their fault.
Yeah.
I mean, we can wait on it.
Yeah,
If they haven't complained, then we didn't strike that out. If they haven't complained, we're having a motion now.
yeah. All right, well, let's wait and see what the new adjuster comes up with.
Okay.
So, all right. And then, but I mean, either way, we're responsible for it.
Either way, we'll end up paying it at some point, yeah.
Right. So,
Okay.
all right. All right. Anything else from the general public?
Need motion to adjourn? I'll make that motion. Second.
Okay, meeting adjourned.